And Star Wars NBA version resumes here in San Antonio tonight. Close to 34,000 expected here at the Alamodome as the LA Lakers take on the San Antonio Spurs. Lakers looking to even the best of 7 Western semifinal at a game apiece. Good evening, everyone. Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, Craig Sager, and the Star Wars craze is as big as ever. It's Shaq and Kobe against Tim and the Admiral. And Hubie, Shaq took a beating in game number 1, but so did the Laker bench, outscored by the Spurs 17-2.
Well, I think you have to look at Shaq's situation and say, hey, he was hammered at least 3, 4, or 5 times. That could be 6, 8, or an additional 10 foul shots. Now, if you don't make the calls, that's like 4 or 5 turnovers. Now the bench outscored 17-2. They go 1 for 12 from the field. They get out rebounded by 11, and they cannot get a perimeter shot off. Things must change tonight with a lot of movement. Let's see what happens.
All right, round 2 of the best of 7 coming up. It'll be the Lakers against the Spurs here at the Alamodome.
Listen.
And we're back here at the Alamodome as the Spurs are being introduced with the lights out. The Lakers starting lineup with Rice, O'Neal, and Bryant all scoring 21 in the opening game of the series. Tim Duncan led the Spurs with 25. And game 2 getting set to start. The officials working this evening's second game: Hugh Hollins, Joe Forte, and Jim Clark. And right now, let's send it over to Craig Sager.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal was fined $7,500 today for verbally abusing the officials and failing to leave the court in a timely manner following the loss in game 1. As Hubie mentioned, he was very physically defended by 4 different Spurs. Although he shot 14 free throws, only 4 of them were after halftime. He kept his cool until the final moments when he went to talk to referee Steve Javie. By the way, the Lakers were also billed $400 for the shattered TV set in the Lakers locker room. Earlier tonight, Shaq tried to blame it on Coach Ramos, but Dick, don't believe him. It was him that did it.
Yeah, Kurt never gets upset, and Shaq, who did not get upset, kept his cool throughout the game, finally let it go in the locker room after the game. And the player to watch, by the way, is Avery Johnson, the point guard for the Spurs, who suffered a bruised knee as Derek Fisher hit him, and he had treatment on it. And let's see if that affects him tonight, Hubie.
Well, at the defensive end of the floor, the Spurs are trying to keep Shaq out of the middle, guide Kobe Bryant off the dribble to the sidelines, and then hope that they can hold the Los Angeles Lakers to 1 shot attempt.
Shaq will jump against David Robinson. San Antonio winning 87-81 in game 1. A Laker victory tonight would shift the home court edge over to them as they play games 3 and 4 Saturday and Sunday at the Great Western Forum. And the tip controlled by the Lakers in the hands of Derek Fisher. And J.R. Reed not ready for it, and a turnover, and Duncan will start the scoring. They fell asleep. J.R. Reed did.
Now, that's really hard to do. When you're on offense, everyone is supposed to see the ball at all times, except if you're setting a back screen away from the ball. Now, what J.R. Reed was thinking, we have no idea.
And a toss by Kobe Bryant thrown away over the head of Derek Fisher. So this is an inauspicious debut for the Lakers in game 2.
Think about game 1. They did a lot of things incorrectly. They only lost by 6 points, but they only had 10 turnovers in that game.
And Kobe Bryant committed 7 of them. So basically, they did a good job of protecting the ball. They go into the Admiral, and David Robinson missing the left-handed hook. Of course, he is a left-hander, and now the Lakers come back. It's 2-0 San Antonio.
I want to see the Lakers tonight get some quick, fast breaks in the open floor.
And Glenn Rice, who's trying to post up against Mario Elie, misses the jumper. Quickly back is Avery Johnson and the Spurs. Mario Elie going again to Robinson. This time facing the basket. He's 0 for 2. And the Lakers come right back. So the Spurs going in to David Robinson. Here's the double on Shaquille O'Neal with Duncan and Robinson. Now they single cover him, and Shaq fights his way in, and a foul called as a tangle going on between Robinson and O'Neal, and the foul call against Shaquille O'Neal.
Now, Shaq made an unwise decision there. See, he wants to back in, but look at the top of the circle. There is a Laker there all by himself, open for a 3. You got to give it up early, and then if the 3 is there, take it. If not, repost Shaq right back in the lane.
Lakers turning it over 3 times in their first 4 possessions of the game. Here is David Robinson trying to get the range, and he finally does after missing his first two.
Well, he has had all three very high percentage looks, Dick.
4-0 in favor of the Spurs. And they go into Shaq. Ellie would be the closest to double team, and now Avery Johnson comes out. Lakers have to pass better. Their ball movement has to be improved. And once again, a turnover against the LA Lakers. And they continue to shoot themselves in the foot.
And it isn't as if the defense is causing the turnovers. Very careless turnovers here.
5 possession, and they've turned it over 4 times. Now Tim Duncan handling it for the first time tonight. He faces the double. Sean Elliott at the free throw line misses. Tapped out by Robinson, and they're going to go the other way with a San Antonio loose ball foul against David Robinson.
That's a good call. David tried to get up over the back of Shaq to get that loose ball. Anytime that you're kicking out here tonight, we know that Duncan is going to be double teamed hard early this evening. Duncan must find the people at the top. Game plan of San Antonio, give the ball fake and drive it hard.
And Kobe Bryant gets the roll. Kobe Bryant, who the Spurs took away a lot of his flashes to the hoop, ended up with pretty good numbers for the most part. Makes it a 4-2 game. Reed on Duncan, and Duncan had the measure of Reed, and Kobe Bryant gets a piece of it from behind. Good defensive play by the 20-year-old.
Well, I thought in game 1 that was a big asset of the San Antonio defense. Doubling from the top on the shooter, he does not see you coming from behind.
And here is Derek Fisher at a good shooting game in the opener. Misses from 3, and now the Spurs with the ball again, up by 4-2. And here is Reed against Duncan. Fisher trying to double, and it worked that time as Duncan's shot goes off the rim. Lakers looking to tie it up despite 4 turnovers, and Kobe Bryant does with his long-range shot.
It'll be interesting to see that in transition, when the Lakers are pushing, they're not blowing out because they do not have a very quick starting 5. But in the mismatches, like you had Ellie down in there on Rice down low, you can always play high-low.
Sean Elliott, whose contribution this year has been on the defensive end, hitting a 3 for the Spurs, and the three-point shot was not a major part of either team the other night, and the Lakers turning it over for the 5th time. Spurs leading by 3. Mario Ellie with a drive, and it is now 9-4 LA. And a turnover as Avery Johnson gets it back on a nifty steal. Duncan going in, tipped up by Ellie. And here is a 3-on-3 now. Blaine Rice putting up his first shot from the perimeter, way off. And a helter-skelter start, especially for the Lakers, who have turned it over 6 times.
We have seen some very bad decisions in transition basketball. I mean, we are just taking bad shots here early at the Laker end of the floor. Just take your time and look for the trailers.
Shaquille O'Neal and Reed with the offensive rebound, and Shaq misses again. So the Lakers, besides turning it over 6 times, are 2 of 7 from the field early on. And the Spurs leading by 5. Here's David Robinson, leaving it for Avery Johnson. Fisher bodying him, and a little bit too much. A blocking foul called against Derek Fisher.
In the early going, we see Shaq leaving that little jump hook short. Same story as in game 1. But usually in game 1, he was boxed in by 2 7-footers. At the other end of the floor, we know that Duncan can take Reed anytime off the dribble. The same with David Robinson with Shaq.
David Robinson, after missing his first 2, has come back to hit 2 from the field. And now it is a 7-point Spur lead.
See, Shaq is not going to allow him to take him off the dribble, so he's giving him the uncontested shot. David will take that all night long.
Kobe Bryant working against Elliott, feinting a drive, and now deciding to go baseline in heavy traffic, fighting for the loose ball, and it's out of bounds, and one official will check with the other, and it's last touch Jimmy Clark rules by the Spurs, and our first timeout coming up. A fevered start to this one, and the Spurs leading 11-4. To Jeff Johnson. What do you make of this game? Are you surprised?
No, well, I am surprised with the Lakers. They're very impatient right now. You have to remember, they led the league in shooting at 47%. They shot 38 in game 1. And in the early going right now, they're making it difficult by taking low percentage shots.
6:40 remaining in the first. Derek Fisher driving in, and he misses. So 15 possessions by the Lakers, and they have scored only twice tonight. Sean Elliott over to David Robinson, who has 4 points. 4 of the 5 starters for the Spurs have scored. Kobe Bryant knocking the ball out of bounds, and the Spurs have 10 seconds to try a shot. San Antonio, a hot team. They won their last 5 in the regular season, including playoffs. Have won 9 of their last 10 games. Here's Avery Johnson going around a screen, and Reed the rebound off the missed layup.
Yeah, Jerry Reed's doing a very solid job right now. Shaq has been out. He's been taken high because David Robinson is always 10 to 15 feet away from the basket.
Here is Shaq going up strong, and a foul is called as Robinson and Duncan. Let's see who gets called for the foul. It'll be against Tim Duncan, his first.
People are saying, why did Shaq have so much trouble? He's 6 for 19 in game 1. He's the leading field goal percentage guy in the league. Well, you can see right there, he's dealing with 2 7-footers, and they both have long reaches, and they're both famous for their shot blocking. So that adds another dimension. In the Houston series, he overpowered Olajuwon, and the double team man was always someone that he could see over.
Different story here with this long team, and Shaq missing his first 2 free throws. Now, he had a pretty good game from the line, to say the least, hitting 9 of 14. And that's rare for Shaquille O'Neal. And as Hughie mentioned, could have gone to the line 22 times. Here is Duncan getting the feed, and he misses the layup, but he is fouled underneath. So Tim Duncan, who had 25 points, 16 in the first half in game 1, goes to the line.
Now just keep an eye on Duncan because he loves to bank his shot. Now here he has a miniature baby hook. He has left 3 shots tonight short.
So Duncan, who had 6 blocked shots, and you don't expect much of that from him on the defensive end, makes the first free throw. The personal was on J.R. Reed.
Everyone is talking about the fact that Shaq attempted 14 foul shots. David Robinson in 28 minutes in game 1 also attempted 14 foul shots. Nobody's even talking about that. And David was 9 for 14.
And David did it after he picked up 3 first half fouls and really didn't get to play much in that first half. 5:40 to go. They go to Shaq, doubled with Robinson and Duncan. Ball movement's got to be crucial for the Lakers tonight when they double Shaq down low. Here is Reed, and he shuffles it into O'Neal, who loses it for the moment. Goes up, it's blocked, and now they go the other way, and an offensive foul has been called, and Shaquille O'Neal, fighting for the loose ball, is called for his second personal foul.
Now this is just a great rotation by San Antonio. They did a nice job, and then they stayed very patient here right now. Now the reason why Shaq got called for the foul, he cleared out Duncan with his left arm as he went up for that shot.
Shaq had 5 personals in game number 1. Spurs on a 9-0 run. And much of it because of the Lakers' problems on their offensive end. David Robinson throwing up the air ball, and the Spurs with a 9-point lead with nearly 7 minutes gone by in the first quarter. Good feed from Derek Fisher to Shaquille O'Neal, and no one near him as he gets his first basket of the game.
And now big decision for Kurt Rambis. Do you allow Shaq to stay out here for his normal rotation of 8 or 9 minutes, saying, hey, the refs will never call number 3, or do you get him out of the game? Now Rooks is at the table.
Duncan with the turnaround, so Tim Duncan starting off on fire, has 6 points to lead the Spurs, and Sean Rooks, as you point out, who got the only points by the bench in game 1, getting ready to come in. J.R. Reed missing, and you wonder where the Lakers are trying to get their offense from.
Well, the perimeter guys are launching the shots. They're not even set up and facing.
Sean Elliott misses a 3. He hit one earlier in this quarter, and Kobe Bryant coming out of the pack as we wind down to 4 minutes to go in the first quarter, and Kurt Rambis calls a timeout. It's been all San Antonio, thanks to the turnovers by the Lakers and poor shooting.
You know, I commented to the referee late in the game. I said, this is a great game, and coaches got to be proud of their team when they keep fighting in a situation like we were faced in. And he told me, he said, your team's got a big heart. That was the nicest compliment I could ever get.
Which ref was that?
And they've held off the Sixers, who made it close in both games, Hubie.
Yeah, and the Sixers are big favorites, even though Philadelphia won the series 2-1. Now, we know that when you can play that close a game with Iverson going 1 for 12 at halftime, you know that your club never gave up. But that's the style of play. They have 10 young guys there. They've expended that energy all year long, and Larry Brown has done a magnificent coaching job.
They have yet to lose a playoff game. There's Will Perdue with his mask on to protect the broken nose. Sean Rooks in for the Lakers. So a new set of centers and a collision as Glenn Rice trying to post up, and a San Antonio foul will be called against Will Perdue.
Excellent call. That time there was a back screen to bring Glenn Rice across the lane. Will Perdue caught him with a forearm. I'm glad to see that, because we're going to eliminate all of the cheap shots early in this game.
Got to look at Greg Popovich in his 3rd year as head coach of his team. He's done a great job. Glenn Rice inside. Here is Sean Rooks. And Rooks fouled inside. So they're getting some mileage out of Sean Rooks. Is the backup center in this game, in for Shaquille O'Neal.
Now, they were fronted. They fronted Glenn Rice that time. Now, when the lob pass was over to Rice and he made the catch, what happens is that the man playing Rooks left him to come double team. Rooks should have been standing right in the lane for an easy pass. He would have had a dunk.
Now, Will Perdue has picked up his 2nd personal foul, so the backup center has 2 with David Robinson out of the game. Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, and Craig Sager. We're here at the Alamodome with just under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter of Game 2. San Antonio winning the opener on Monday, and San Antonio has led all the way 15-7, and the Lakers turning it over early here. 7 turnovers, poor shooting, and Shaquille O'Neal right now on the bench with 2 personal fouls for LA.
Now, Will Perdue was big in that game. Between Will Perdue and Malik Rose, they had 12 rebounds and they had 6 points backing up David Robinson. That was major in game 1.
Actually, Perdue had more rebounds than anyone on either team, with the exception of Shaquille O'Neal. Here is Duncan working against Rooks. Bryant double teams. Wide open, Sean Elliott. He's already hit a 3, and Elliott now has 5.
Now, that's what Duncan must see, because when he is double teamed from the top, anytime that a man double teams from the top, the player can go down the middle or he can stay and open up for the jump shot. Beautiful, but that puts a lot of pressure on Elliott to hit that shot.
Malik Rose checking in for the Spurs. Gives them high energy. Not a lot of size, but he'll fight you, and he is defending against J.R. Reed. Plenty of time on the shot clock for the Lakers. And here is Glenn Rice, and hitting from the outside. Rice started game 1 3 for 3, and then tailed off till he came on in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, that was just bad defense on a screen and roll. You never allowed the man coming up over the top to turn the corner, and especially a shooter with the range of Rice.
Duncan with 6 points. 8 on the shot clock, and Elliott has had the hot hand from the perimeter, and the offensive foul as Fisher is knocked down by Sean Elliott.
Now, that's a big gamble, Dick, because if you're going to leave the guy at the top of the circle to come in and take a charge at that angle, all Elliott had to do was jam on the brakes and get the ball to the top of the circle. He had an uncontested shot.
San Antonio leading by 10. The Lakers trying to weather their shoddy play to start this game and come back, and Glenn Rice trying to get some consistency with his perimeter shot. One of the best in the league in his career, but giving the Spurs another opportunity. Duncan against Reed, and Duncan has made this a bad matchup for the Lakers.
Well, even if they come with Oren, he still has the advantage. He has size, and he gets the shot off before the double team gets there. He can go into the lane, he can drop step power, and he also has the jump hook.
LA at 31% from the field after their 38% shooting in game number 1. They were the highest percentage shooting team in the league. Kobe Bryant getting in the ball knocked away, and Avery Johnson bringing it up, and we'll have a Laker foul. And a chance for Greg Popovich to arrest some of his starters, because Robinson went out, and now they're going to bring out Avery Johnson, and Antonio Daniels, who played well as the backup point guard, is in for Avery Johnson.
No mention of the almost shattering of the glass on that Kobe Bryant bullet at the other end of the lane. I'm telling you, what a bullet he threw up there.
Where's Darryl Dawkins when we need him?
There you go.
And Derek Harper checking in for the Lakers, and the Lakers not getting much mileage, if any, from their bench offensively in game one.
Well, anytime that you have Harper, Fox, and you're talking about key guys who score a ton of points for you and have done it all throughout their careers, and they go 0 for 9, well, you know that you're in a lot of trouble.
And you can throw Robert Horry into the mix, and he gets off the bench, getting set to come in the game. The personal foul will called against Kobe Bryant, and there is Robert Horry. So a shocker that Horry, Fisher, and Fox did not hit a basket. Fox has yet to come in this game.
And you know, Dick, they've all played between 15 and 22 minutes, so it is not like they were not on the floor, but they were not involved in the offensive attack.
Under 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. It's been all San Antonio in game two. Elliott fighting his way in and lays it in. A great up and under with Kobe Bryant defending.
The Lakers, in most occasions in this first half so far, are very, very late with their rotations.
19 of the 21 San Antonio Spurs points have come from their front court. And now with Kobe Bryant missing, Mario Elie, who has played the entire first quarter, leaves it for Malik Rose. And the basket counts and a foul, and this crowd is going wild.
Now that was sheer hustle. Malik Rose knew that his man, Horry, was on the floor at the other end behind the basket. He just took off right down. But how about the decision of Elie? Elie saw him coming, you see? Right there, they had a 2-on-1 on Rooks in the lane. Great hustle by Rose.
And all Rose had to do is look, put his hands out, and he got the feed. The second personal foul called against Kobe Bryant as the Spurs press full court with 1:20 to go in the first. San Antonio having the Lakers in disarray here in this first quarter, and it started with LA's first possession when they turned it over. Here is Harper with a drive, and that'll go. So Harper finally gets a field goal in the series.
Well, this is big because you cannot say enough about them. Harper, Horry, and Fox. We're talking guys who have averaged over 10 points a game all throughout their careers. They cannot be Valentine.
11 seconds on the shot clock for the Spurs. Duncan leading with 8 for San Antonio. And there is Daniels misfiring from 3. 21 seconds on the shot clock. You're watching the game clock here in the quarter. Kobe Bryant knifing his way in, and a nifty shot by Bryant. And he's got 6 to lead the Lakers.
That was an explosion. When you realize how far he came off of that 2 dribbles from the opposite wing to lay it up on the other side of the lane.
Bryant with 21 in game 1. And now with 9 on the clock, Duncan facing the basket against Rooks and banks it in. 10 points for Tim Duncan. And now the shot clock is off, and the Lakers playing for the final shot.
Tim Duncan will do that all night long. That's his favorite shot, the favorite spot on the floor for the bank.
And Bryant is pushed by Elliott. And for the Spurs, that is their 15th foul, and that will send Kobe to the free throw line as Jerome Kersey checks in for Sean Elliott, who goes out having scored 7 points, including a big 3. So Elliott playing a fine first quarter. And speaking of threes, what about Jerome Kersey's at the half, that 30-footer?
Well, Jaren Jackson and Jerome Kersey with the second unit came through with 3 threes, a total of 9 points. You add that to Will Perdue and Malik Rose, their bench, forget the 17-2. They did a lot of other things.
And Kersey always does the little things. That's how valuable he has been. Played fine defense in the fourth quarter as well. 2 seconds remaining in the first quarter as Bryant makes the free throws. And the lead is 10. And a desperation shot thrown up, but the San Antonio Spurs taking advantage of Laker turnovers. They committed 7 early. And with O'Neal out, it is a 10-point Spur lead after 1. 26-16.
show you how San Antonio beats the double team. The ball is here, and it's going to be passed into Tim Duncan. Now, keep an eye as the double team will come right down from the top of the circle. Now, as he makes his move, we'll hold it. We'll show you the double team. So he's trapped this way. He'll hit the pass out here. But watch as Avery Johnson comes out. His man comes across, so they have it in both areas. That will be there all night long if Duncan can get the pass out on a clear shot to the first man.
Spurs shooting 50%. The Lakers with 35% shooting and 7 turnovers. So for the third quarter in 5 that they played, the Lakers held under 20 points in this series. And a young series it is. Jaren Jackson, who hit a couple of big threes the other night, misses the first shot as we get underway. The Lakers start Derek Harper at the point with Kobe Bryant. And up front, Rick Fox in the game for the first time. Sean Rooks remains in there, and Robert Horry, as Shaquille O'Neal scored only 2 points in the first quarter and benched early with 2 fouls. Illegal defense called against the Spurs. That's the first.
They caught Tim Duncan, Dick. He was down below the foul line area. And the old story is that you cannot, if your man is above the top of the circle, you must be above the foul line. And then when the ball goes in, then you can leave in double team.
The backup guards in for San Antonio. Jaren Jackson guarding Bryant. Antonio Daniels, who's been in there, trying to get to Derek Harper. He misses, and Harper stepping on the line, turns it over to San Antonio.
That's the second time that the Lakers have stepped out of bounds on that side of the floor. So things like this are inexcusable. They're careless. Their offense is in total disarray. And unless it's one-on-one, nothing good is happening at the Laker end of the floor.
This team is definitely not focused thus far in this game. And a pushing foul as Duncan is pushed. Duncan in there along with Malik Rose and Jerome Kersey with Jackson and Daniels, and the personal called against Sean Rooks. So 2 on the Lakers backup big man.
On the early going, it's still only a 10-point game. San Antonio keeping the offense simple, but they are getting high percentage shots.
Here is Duncan shooting over Rooks, late to get to him. Malik Rose with the offensive rebound and is fouled. Did not get the roll, but Rose alertly getting the offensive rebound, and his energy is matching the entire Lakers squad right now.
Well, you know, he's 6'7", 250 pounds, and you must put a body on him because he will sacrifice. He's not worrying about getting offensive fouls or any type of fouls. So when the shot goes up, get into his chest.
Malik Rose, who played at Drexel in the North Atlantic Conference, was known as the Shaq of the NAC in his days. Native of Philadelphia and attended Overbrook High School, one of the famous high schools that produced some great players, Will Chamberlain, Walt Hazzard, Wally Jones, and Wayne Hightower. And a very personable young man who once worked in the kitchen of the 76ers camp. Didn't put on too much weight. That's good news for him.
Well, he played for an excellent college coach in Bill Harrion at Drexel, who does a magnificent job with his team. And you just love his attitude. He's got a great attitude.
20-point edge by the Spurs in their front court. That's a surprise. And Sean Rooks leaving it for Harper with 5 on the shot clock. Rick Fox is going to have to fire it up. And it goes in. He turned around, spun around. What's that worth? Off the glass?
No, it was by design. Forget about off the glass, bank, or anything else. Oh, we know that they worked on that play all through the shoot-around today.
Well, 2 hours before the game, they were hitting that from the outside. Yeah. Right. Jaren Jackson off the mark. Jerome Kersey getting the offensive rebound. There again, the little things that Kersey does for this team.
Big thing right now is stop launching the threes and work through Duncan.
Duncan double teamed late. And the rebound by Horry. Duncan with 10 leading the Spurs, and Kobe Bryant had 8 to lead the Lakers in the first quarter. Bryant looking for a good look, and he's got it. Kobe Bryant now with 10 points, and the Spurs lead is down to 8.
How about that move? The defender, just on that crossover move, the defender moved back 8 feet, opened him up. He thought he was playing horse in his backyard.
He didn't want to be left in the dust. And Hugh Hollins calling a foul underneath, away from the ball. And it is against Sean Rooks. So Shaq on the bench with 2. Rooks picks up 3. We may see Travis Knight before long.
Now on this kickoff right here, right there, it was 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, a desperation. Nothing but hoop.
He had it all the way. 8-point lead for the Spurs. Want to remind you, coming up on Turner Sports, NBA playoff action continues tomorrow starting at 8 on TNT. Game 2 between the Knicks and the Hawks. Knicks with a 1-0 lead, followed by the Blazers and Jazz in Salt Lake City. Then on Friday starting at 8 on TNT, Game 3 between the Sixers and the Pacers. That's all coming up on Turner Sports. Tim Duncan thus far, the leading man with 10 points on 4 for 9 shooting for the Spurs. On the bench now is David Robinson back in the game, getting the feed on the low post, and Ori with a swooping foul on the Admiral.
See, when you look at the Laker defense, anytime that you put the ball down on the floor more than one dribble, you're going to come up with some kind of a foul. The Lakers are late on rotations. They love to grab you. Now, they were 28th in the league in fouls, putting you on the foul line 29 times a game. Now, that is a terrible stat.
Gibby, let me ask you about the Laker lineup right now, which has Ori guarding Robinson. He's their biggest man, and they have Bryant, Rick Fox, J.R. Reed, as well as Harper. It's a small team.
Yeah, it's a small team, but Ori can play David Robinson if he stays high. But right now with this lineup, they're going to play him low, keep Malik Rose up high. Rambis is matching Reed's physical play against Rose right now.
Derek Harper on the front rim, Ori getting the offensive rebound. And that's what Ori will give you, the tough defense and rebounding. Under 9 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Lakers have steadied their ship somewhat since their rocky start. And there is J.R. Reed fighting for the loose ball. Fox, Ori, and Kersey out of bounds. Last touch by the Spurs.
Now, as wild as this half is, as unorganized as the Lakers look, with all of their turnovers, bad percentage shots, getting off quick shots, they're only down 10. But, you know, it was the same as in Game 1. They're always within striking distance if they can just pull together and tighten up their offensive attack.
And they've changed the call, and now they say the Lakers touched it last. So the Spurs with Antonio Daniels and Jaren Jackson at guard. David Robinson up front with Jerome Kersey and Malik Rose. Well, we said it in the fourth quarter of Game 1. No lead is safe.
No, not with either of these teams because of turnovers and bad foul shooting.
Jaren Jackson with a 3 off the side of the backboard. But Hugh Hollins catches a foul against the Lakers.
Yeah, it could have been against David Robinson.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. We thought J.R. Reed might have been guilty, but it was Robinson around the neck.
Yes, around the neck.
That's a wrestling move.
Well, that's a little frustration there, okay? Because everything, when you see a guy retaliate like that, there is usually, in most cases, something that leads to that.
Double foul is the ultimate call against both David Robinson and J.R. Reed, and so they'll jump in the middle.
I like that because there's definitely contact by J.R. Reed before. I keep trying to bring Robert Reed back into the league, okay? He was such a great player for a lot of years.
Hey, if the Rockets ever get back there, you never know. And Rick Fox knocking it off of Malik Rose, an alert play by Fox. And so the Lakers will inbound. Rick Fox, who has 2 points in the game, and the Lakers really relying on Fox coming off the bench for his scoring. Remember, he started for Glenn Rice, who was out with a sore elbow in the series clincher against Houston over the weekend.
If they were ever going to step out and see some fast break action, this is the time that the Lakers must show it. They're small, they're quick.
Glenn Rice driving the lane, missing the layup, and the Spurs with a 10-point lead. They had it up by as many as 14 in the first quarter. Taking their time now to set it up. Here is Robinson, who scored 6 so far. Tries to draw the foul, but none coming. And he knocks Reed down, and a foul is called against David Robinson. And that will be the 3rd against the Admiral, and going over to Clark.
David,
inadvertently, he didn't know that Reed was down.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But more important, David Robinson was just hammered on that shot attempt by 2 guys. Not by 1 guy, by 2 guys. Then as he turns around and goes the other way, just keep an eye right here. You're going to see him now. He gets hit there, and he gets hit from the other side. Now as he goes to turn, keep an eye here now. You can see he got hit in the back first. He got hit across the arm. Then as they started back down the floor, then we had the contact. You can see there's the trip there. Then he falls on the floor.
But you're absolutely right. J.R. Reed had hammered David Robinson, who goes to the bench with his third personal foul, and Tim Duncan will replace him.
In game one, Robinson only played 28 minutes. He had a productive 28 minutes. See, anytime that you pick up your third foul and you were hammered in the play right before that, of course, you're going to say something.
And a double technical foul called on Kersey and Reed, so the officials trying to keep the lid on this one, which looks like tempers could be getting short. With 7:44 to go in the first quarter, Kobe Bryant fires up a three. Ball movement is non-existent for the Lakers.
You know, both ends of the floor, everything is extremely ragged. You know, there's a lot of physical play going on. Guys are leaving shots short.
Illegal defense against the Lakers, so each team has been called for one illegal defense violation. And Shaquille O'Neal coming back in the game. Shaq picked up 2 early fouls, scored only 2 points, no rebounds, and was out of the game for 8 minutes.
Now we have played 16 minutes. The number 2 scoring team in this league at 99 points. The number 1 field goal percentage team, 47%. The Lakers, you look at the clock, they have 20 points. We played 16 minutes.
And 4 in more than 6 minutes. Kersey given the outside shot. Rose and Duncan, and Rose helped Duncan get the offensive rebound. Good board play by the Spurs. Here's Duncan working against Shaq, and he puts it in. And you know, Shaq's got to avoid getting that third foul. Duncan knew it.
That was pretty, because Duncan semi-moved there. He came to a stutter stop, and then as Shaq went by, was able to put in that baby hook.
That's the first basket for the Spurs here in the second quarter. The lead is 12 for San Antonio. Good feed from Shaq to Rick Fox, and that is good movement by the player without the ball.
See, that's there all the time. Anytime Shaq gets the ball, when you send a guy down the middle of the lane, they'll pick him up. You'll have 3 defenders below the lane, and you'll have 1 guy against 2 at the top of the circle. All you have to do is have ball movement. You're going to get a high percentage shot.
Duncan getting it back from Daniels, and he's tied up. And a jump ball. So the Lakers clamp down defensively. And we're going to have a jump ball with Fox and Duncan. And a timeout with 6:29 remaining in the first half. San Antonio leading by 10.
The Spurs are up by 10, and I'm with his father, William. Obviously, we hear all the stories about your son being a swimmer before he started playing basketball in 9th grade. What's your reaction to all the publicity and everything he's gotten in the way the NBA is so popular? Could you repeat that? Your reaction to the fact that your son wanted to be a swimmer, but now he's one of the greatest players in the NBA. What's it like back home? Are they all watching?
Oh, you bet they are. They're going nuts over the whole fact of what happened.
Do you think more people are going to play basketball now in the Virgin Islands?
Oh, I hope so.
How many games you get to go to?
Huh?
How many games you get to go to?
Oh, maybe 10, 12.
Thanks a lot. Let's go back to Dick and UB.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. And you can see where Tim Duncan gets his class and dignity from. Here is Shaq double-teamed out to Glenn Rice and hits, and that's there for the Lakers as well.
You like to see any time that they're running at him, get the ball out, then repost. If they don't have the 3, they'll come right back down inside to him. And when you're talking about Rice, you're talking one of the greatest 3-point shooters in the history of the league.
That's his first 3-point basket. And so Glenn Rice bringing the Lakers to within 7 points, and despite their problems, illegal defense finally called against the Lakers, and so that'll be a technical free throw coming up. The second violation, and Jaren Jackson will go to the line. So after all that, Lakers very much in the game, as they were in the fourth quarter last night, with a chance to come back and win.
Well, we were down inside of 1 minute and 20 seconds. They were down 7. Fisher had a wide open 3, missed it. They get the rebound. Kobe drives the lane, misses an uncontested layup. It could have been 5, and as we know, the Spurs were falling apart. All right, they had 9 turnovers in the last 9 minutes of the game.
Avery Johnson, the point guard, back in the game. An 8-point lead for the Spurs. Duncan trying to get the ball low against Rick Fox. Jaren Jackson gets it to him, and he misses the shot, and the rebound by Shaq. That is the first rebound of the game for Shaquille O'Neal, who had 15 boards in game number 1. And the personal foul, and it was Harper setting up Glenn Rice. And Rice will go to the free throw line. The foul is on Jerome Kersey. Mario Elie checking back into the game for the Spurs along with Will Perdue as Kersey and Jackson leave.
With Kersey leaving, he was playing Rice. Now we should look to see if they post Rice like they did in game 1 with Mario Elie. Now, Rice had an excellent game. He was 8 for 17 from the floor. He had 21 points, and he really had a beautiful feel.
And Rice trying to post up against Elie right here. Double team with Duncan, and the foul is called.
It's there. We know that Elie cannot defend him. Elie continues to play behind him, and if you're playing behind Rice, he'll shoot up over the top of Elie every single time. Rice was an outstanding post-up man at the University of Michigan and in his early years at Miami and in Charlotte.
Good point, Hubie, because people forget how effective he can be as a post-up player. They only think of him as a perimeter shooter. Rice making good on the free throw, and a chance now to bring the Lakers to within 6 points. Right now the Spurs have their starting lineup with the exception of David Robinson, who's on the bench with 3 fouls. Will Perdue is in the middle. Bryant, Fox, Harper, Rice, and Shaq in there for the Lakers, and now it is 33-27. There's the Admiral, who has 6 points but saddled with 3 personals.
This series will be spurts. Each team they take turns in spurts.
Avery Johnson out to Elliott. And here is Duncan, very nearly thrown away, and traveling called against Duncan. So Johnson did not give him the best re-entry pass, and the violation and the turnover against the Spurs.
Right now, anytime that the Lakers front Duncan in the post, the angle of the passer is poor. All you have to do is get foul line extended below. You create a better angle, and you empty out the opposite side.
Under 5 minutes remaining as Kobe Bryant misses. Elliott fell down. Bryant missed. Alertly gets the rebound and lays it in. The basket counts as a foul, and a chance now for the Lakers to climb within 3.
Now that was sheer hustle on Kobe's behalf. When Elliott fell down, Kobe shoots. Now you see he falls down. Now as Elliott stays down, and he never got up. And this is just a smart move by Kobe off the dribble. And then once he gets that hop step, watch out, because that's where he explodes.
What a contrast in the emotion of this game. The Lakers started off in a fog, and now it looks like San Antonio is in some sort of a zone, and the Lakers have picked it up. Now trailing by only 3, 33-30, thanks to a 10-1 run. Now the crowd of upwards of 34,000 here. We had 25,000 in game 1. Only a day between the end of one series, the beginning of another, and the ball stripped away from Will Perdue. Derek Fisher picking it up.
The last 3 minutes is the best defense we've seen the Lakers have in the game tonight.
Kobe Bryant pulling up, and Bryant has the hand. He can feel it out there. 15 points for Kobe Bryant, and the Lakers, who are down by 14 in the first quarter, have come to within 1, and a timeout called by the Spurs.
In game 1, Kobe Bryant had 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals. But he negated a lot of it with the turnovers, the 7 turnovers. But he has been hot here from the field in both games, as long as he takes and stays within his game, the high percentage game. Every once in a while, he'll get out of control, and he'll take an off-balance shot where it looks like he's trying to shatter the backboard.
Kobe Bryant, 15 points on 6 for 11 shooting. He has scored 7 this quarter, and you know, he played a solid defensive game in the first contest as well.
Well, that's why I say, that's why you mentioned the 6 rebounds. You mentioned the 3 steals and the couple of blocks that he had.
22nd timeout was the call by Greg Popovich as we get wind down to 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Spurs led by 10 after 1, and the Lakers trailing by 1 now, and now illegal defense.
Shaq came all the way from the other side of the lane.
I don't think you can do it.
The Lakers are saying ball fake, ball fake. On a ball fake, I'm allowed to come across.
Not that far.
But it comes down to the interpretation of the referee of whether he thinks that it was a ball fake to the guy in the post.
Leading his case is Kurt Rambis as Mario Elie makes good on the technical free throw. That's the second one
See, Shaq came all the way from the other side of the lane in front of Duncan and then figured, uh-oh, they didn't throw it, so I'll come all the way across and try to double team the wingman.
The lead is 2 for the Spurs, and the double team on Duncan. Elliott wide open, and Rice the rebound. So the Lakers in a position to at least tie the game. The Spurs are 1 for 11 shooting here in this quarter. Fisher feeding Shaq, who goes up and fouls, and now the Lakers in position to tie the game.
Nice move by Fisher. Fisher is playing under control. As he gets down into that area, he can not only score, he will deliver the pass right on the money to Shaq.
Meanwhile, Will Perdue picking up his 3rd personal foul.
Very big.
So Perdue and David Robinson each with 3.
If they, at the other end, at the San Antonio end, if Tim Duncan is going to be double and triple team, Duncan has got to get the ball out quickly, and then that puts the pressure on the perimeter people for San Antonio to hit the shot. Now, in this quarter, they are missing the shots.
Shaq misses his 3rd straight free throw as Malik Rose comes into the game for Will Perdue. So a small team out there for San Antonio, with Tim Duncan being the biggest for the Spurs. Coming up on the AT&T halftime, the Sixers and the Pacers earlier tonight on TNT. And we'll have highlights plus the key interviews from the players and coaches. Join Kenny Smith, Peter the Jet Vesey, and Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios. I'm going to spread out that nickname to everybody. All right, 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Spurs leading by 1. The Lakers have never led in this game. And here is Ellie losing the ball, dribbling off his foot, and a pushing foul. Loose ball against the Spurs, and the Lakers can take the lead. The personal on Mario Ellie, his 2nd.
Tim Duncan cannot believe what just happened. He was just thrown to the floor. Watch Rice throw him to the floor. Now look at this. See, you can't do that. Now watch. See, you see that arm knocked him right down on the floor. You cannot get away from that. And to prove that, I just hit you the same way
I was going to say
Rice just hit. But you know what? I noticed you're a little bit tougher because you didn't want to move.
But Hubie, let's not have that continue. One time, and I think that's the limit. 2, and you're over the limit. And Derek Fisher ties the score at 34. It has been a big uphill climb for the Lakers, who are 9 of 12 from the line. Both teams shooting well from the line, uncharacteristic for both of these teams. And Fisher giving the Lakers their first lead of the game, 35-34. San Antonio, 1 of 11 from the field here in this second quarter. Malik Rose giving them their 2nd basket. He has 7 off the bench. Big contribution for Rose.
I'm smiling because he's the one guy that the Lakers would want to rotate to that spot. And once again, the 2nd man in the rotation for the Lakers is late.
Hey, expect the unexpected. Oh, no, that was the Miami of New York. That was the last series. Here's Rick Fox driving around Duncan. And there's Glenn Rice hitting the 3. Glenn Rice with his 2nd 3 of the game. And the Lakers have a 2-point lead with 2:39 to go in the first half.
What a great catch and shot, all in the same motion.
And the Lakers coming alive from 3-point range thanks to Rice, and Rick Fox on the steal as Ellie threw it badly into the post.
And their post feeding is atrocious in this half. Fox is doing a great job. He's not playing behind Duncan. He continues to front him.
And Rice missing the perimeter shot, and here is Elliott. He's got Johnson and Rose on the wing. Avery Johnson down low to Malik Rose, and he is held. And that will be the 15th foul against the Lakers, and Malik Rose will go to the line. The personal foul is on Derek Fisher.
Malik Rose definitely making things happen at both ends of the floor. Example of the Laker defense being late. Now here's a screen and roll. They trap the ball handler. They pick up Duncan going down the lane. That opens up the top of the circle. The opposite man to the left of your screen should have been coming across the top. Now that was a beautiful knockdown by Malik Rose. And then in this transition play, Malik Rose ran right to the box. They gave it to him. No hesitation. Took Glenn Rice right to the rim.
Malik Rose, who gives the Spurs a change of pace when he comes into the game, has done just that. But the Lakers on a major run here in the closing stages of the first half. When David Robinson went to the bench, with 3 personal fouls. The Spurs led by 10. They've been outscored by 10 as Malik Rose makes both the free throws. So losing Robinson, who has 3 personals for the 2nd straight game in the first half, has hurt the San Antonio Spurs big time. Here's Shaq from Fox, and he is fouled. Rose had the ball, but there were other Spurs inside who committed the personal, and they'll give it to Malik because of the body.
Well, anytime you got Shaq in there now with Duncan, you know that he can overpower Duncan. It's not his forte. And Rose, we know that Rose is 6'7" and 250, but he's going to get him in the lower back, and that's exactly what he did there. He pushed him in the lower back. That's why the foul was called. Did he get the ball at the top? Yes, he did.
May not be his forte, but Joe Forte actually made the call underneath. Little play on word. Shaq makes 1 out of 2, impressing my partner to no end. 1:50 to go in the first half, and it is a Laker lead by 1. Sean Elliott has it tipped and taken by Bryant, but a foul is called. A great anticipation that time by Kobe Bryant, but it goes for naught as the Lakers committing the personal foul, and free throws coming up for Tim Duncan. Fox with his 2nd personal foul.
Once again, the San Antonio passer, the ball was deflected. You know, passing to the post is becoming a lost art. And it sounds so simple, get the ball into the post, but we can see Duncan has an advantage in there, but they cannot get it to him when he has the advantage on Fox.
13 points now for Tim Duncan.
Fox is working, let me tell you. He's spending an awful lot of energy. He's working so hard.
And 1 out of 2 for Duncan, but the tip by Rose comes out to Avery Johnson. Once again, Malik Rose, a big factor in his hand. 16 on the shot clock. 1:32 to go in the first half, and Duncan missing the shot inside. Good point. Very tough to make it. He couldn't use the glass at all.
You know why? He's frustrated right now because he has not had a good look in a number of minutes, Dick. And he just forced that one up there. Because if he would have taken his time, he could have picked out Rose. He was wide open on the other side of the lane.
Tied at 39. Kobe Bryant misses, and Shaquille O'Neal battling Duncan for the rebound, committing his 3rd personal foul. So the 2 starting centers, David Robinson and Shaquille O'Neal. Now, wait a second. They call it on Duncan. O'Neal is going to the line. The crowd can't believe that Shaq wasn't called for the personal, and now they call it on Malik Rose. Duncan and Shaq collided, and Malik Rose gets called for the personal.
Hey, sometimes these things happen. Here goes the shot. Now look low right here. You can see what happened there. Rose grabbed onto Shaq's arm. That's what they called first.
So they called the foul before the 2 even went up.
Before Duncan crashed into Shaq as they both elevated to go for the rebound.
So Shaq still with 2 fouls, but 2 for 8 from the free throw line. Under a minute to go in the first half, tied at 39. And there is Elliott feeding inside to Malik Rose, who has 11 points, 8 here in the 2nd quarter.
San Antonio's trying to get a shot out and double team with the first pass. That only happens against bad teams. You need a 2nd pass. They were wide open in 2 spots to the right side of the floor, but you must make the pass.
Rick Fox's drive, and here comes Avery Johnson. Lakers getting back defensively, and there is Sean Elliott with the drive. The basket count and a foul, and the Spurs putting it on in the last minute of this first half. Leading by 4, and a chance to stretch the lead. Derek Fisher with his 3rd personal foul for the Lakers.
I think they're all up because they're just excited that they've seen a fast break. Right. Hey, that's the first true fast break that we've had in this game.
And there is the circus layup by Sean Elliott, who has 9 points in the game and trying to get to double figures here as Shaquille O'Neal going out of the game as the Lakers don't want him to commit a foul in the waning seconds. J.R. Reed replaces him, and Jerome Kersey into the game for the Spurs. Elliott with the 3-point play, and the Spurs are up by 5 points after the Lakers came back from 14 to take a brief lead. 16 on the shot clock for the Lakers. Fisher remains in there with 3 fouls, and Glenn Rice is fouled And that may be, if he's in three-point range, 3 free throws coming up.
See, Malik Rose switched in that situation and picked up Rice. Now, if you do get in that deal, whatever you do, please do not foul him if he's taking a three. And over anxious, Malik goes for the block of the shot. Very seldom do you ever see Rice get a shot blocked from outside.
So he's got 3 free throws, does Glenn Rice, and makes good on the first. And that's the energy that you get, and that's some of the downside that you get from Malik Rose. But the Spurs will take his tremendous energy. Rice with 2 more free throws. And Ruben Patterson is going to come into the game, the rookie from Cincinnati, as Kobe Bryant goes out, and not trying to risk any of the stars getting fouls. Shaq already on the bench. O'Neal with only 4 points, 1 rebound, and 2 of 8 from the line. Lakers not getting much from their big man who went to Cole High School here in San Antonio in the younger days. But the Lakers in the game. Rice takes 2 out of 3. It's a 3-point lead for San Antonio. Playing for the last shot. Considering Shaq has been no factor, the Lakers have to be pretty pleased.
Oh, of course. I mean, you just had a bad half of turnovers, bad decisions, and you're right there, only 3 down.
And Rose, who bobbled the pass, puts it up. So Robinson with 3 fouls. Shaquille O'Neal with 2, but not much production from him. Kobe Bryant had 15 points to lead the Lakers. Tim Duncan, 13 for the Spurs. And at halftime of Game 2 of the best of 7 Western Conference Semifinal, the Spurs lead the Lakers by a score of 44-41. Nighttime view of the Alamo here in San Antonio, and we're inside of the aptly named Alamodome, where at halftime Game 2 of the Western Conference Semifinal, Spurs trying to take a 2-0 lead in the series, and they lead the Lakers by a score of 44-41. Hot shooting by the Spurs in the first quarter, and Laker defense cooled them off as they came back in the second. Shaquille O'Neal and David Robinson, non-factors because of foul trouble in the first half. And Hubie, both teams can look at the silver lining, but the Spurs especially, because Robinson with 3 personal fouls, not a factor, and yet they have the lead.
Well, he played 9 minutes. Will Perdue, his sub, 3 minutes, 3 fouls, so that gave Malik Rose a chance. 11 points, 5 rebounds. They make 13 out of 14 foul shots. At the other end, Rice and Bryant are having a great half, but they've got to get Shaq off the snide. He only has 4 points and 1 rebound. He must get involved.
All right, Craig Sager.
Well, Dick, you're talking about how ragged the game was at the beginning. How ragged was it? Kurt Rambis said that was the worst start we've had in a game in over a month. He said that Kobe and Glenn Rice are feeling pretty good. They want to throw the ball into Shaq and have it throw back out to the perimeter to get the perimeter game going and not have Shaq force anything down low where he picked up his offensive fouls. Dick Hubie.
Well, in Game 1, the Lakers jumped out to an early 12-point lead before faltering in the second quarter. Tonight, the Spurs went up by 14, but their 27% shooting allowed the Spurs to get back, or the Lakers to get back in the game, and Duncan misses, and the ball knocked away by Reed. So it's Derek Fisher, who's, by the way, playing with 3 personal fouls, Kobe Bryant, and it's Rice, Reed, and O'Neal up front for the Lakers.
Now, Duncan is struggling in this game. He's only 5 for 14.
Shaq gets the first basket.
Well, that's the way to get him involved in a hurry. And you like what he just did because he posted up in the paint area. Now, they're calling a quick timeout over here, and Popovich is not very happy.
Shaquille O'Neal, only his second basket of the game now, 2 for 5 from the field. He has 2 personal fouls. Kobe Bryant led the Lakers with 15, but David Robinson and Will Perdue, his backup, each have 3 fouls for the Spurs. So foul trouble affecting San Antonio a little more.
You like what they're doing with Shaq. They're trying to get Shaq in the painted area. San Antonio's done a nice job trying to front him, but that time he was on the move. Anytime Shaq's on the move and they can hit him in there, he has a major plus going for him.
There you're looking at the Lakers scoring leaders, and Kobe Bryant 50% shooting from the field. He has played outstanding the first half. And Tim Duncan leading the Spurs with 13. Malik Rose coming off the bench to score 11, followed by Sean Elliott, who has 10. Mario Ellie driving and using Robinson as a kind of a screen, and it comes off into the hands of Kobe Bryant led the Lakers with 15, but David Robinson and Will Perdue, his backup, each have 3 fouls for the Spurs. So foul trouble affecting San Antonio a little more.
You like what they're doing with Shaq. They're trying to get Shaq in the painted area. San Antonio's done a nice job trying to front him, but that time he was on the move. Anytime Shaq's on the move and they can hit him in there, he has a major plus going for him.
There you're looking at the Lakers scoring leaders, and Kobe Bryant 50% shooting from the field. He has played outstanding the first half. And Tim Duncan leading the Spurs with 13. Malik Rose coming off the bench to score 11, followed by Sean Elliott, who has 10. Mario Ellie driving and using Robinson as a kind of a screen, and it comes off into the hands of Shaq.
Yeah, that's a tough shot because it's a push shot. You know, you're not set, coming to jump stop, going for a nice jump shot.
Lakers down by 1. Could have taken the lead had that fallen for Kobe Bryant. San Antonio winning game 1, 87-81. Trying to keep home court advantage before the 2 games Saturday and Sunday at the Great Western Forum. David Robinson with his 8th point. Spurs by 3. And Ellie gets a piece of that shot and knocked away, but it's last touched by the Spurs on Kobe Bryant's shot. So immediately trying to double Kobe in the corner.
Well, it's one of the very few times that you see Kobe Bryant get a shot blocked, especially outside of 10 feet.
Derek Fisher will inbound. Bryant with a deceptive drive against Sean Elliott.
That was a play that was set up. It looked like they were going to the right side of the floor. The old thing, deception. Start one way, swing it back, clear out, and give him a one-on-one.
Once again, a 1-point game. Rice guarding Ellie, and here is Elliott. Sean Elliott working against Kobe Bryant, and Kobe with the hand check, and for Bryant that'll be his 3rd. So Bryant and Fisher, the starting backcourt for the Lakers, each with 3 personal.
Now see, that's good strategy because you know that Elliott is quick off the dribble. He had a nice sound first half with 10 points, so it's going to put the pressure on Kobe now, especially if they isolate again.
And they're looking for Elliott once again. That's exactly what the Spurs want to do. Clearing out for Elliott against Bryant. Knocked away, triple team, and a tough shot made by Elliott. Very tough one.
Good call, Dick, because he was sandwiched. Fisher came down in there, deflected the first. That nice recovery. Oh, now right there, good call. I'm glad Jimmy Clark made that call because Kobe Bryant went down in and swung up the lane off of the double screen. Sean Elliott just reach out and grab him. Keep a look to the left here. You see right there? He had him by the arm. Good move by Bryant.
And you know, the officials are expected to do a good job, but these officials have really called a terrific game.
Yeah, they've been right on top of it. No one's getting an advantage, Dick, by rough play, and especially they're catching all of the hard blows with the forearm.
And the pass from Bryant into Rice knocked away by Ellie. We're talking about Hugh Hollins, Joe Forte, and Jim Clark, the officials working this game. Mario Ellie, who has the white headband around the bandage, protecting the 20 stitches he took from a blow by Anthony Peeler in the Minnesota series. 9 on the clock, the shooting clock that is, and here is the Glenn Rice for 3. He has hit 2 already, but not this time, but J.R. Reed fighting for the loose ball. Nearly 3 minutes gone by here in the second half. The Spurs up by 3. That was their halftime margin. Bryant from the baseline misses, and David Robinson clears it out to Mario Ellie.
In the first half, fast break points, San Antonio 8, the Los Angeles Lakers 0.
And a carry called against Ellie, and that is startling when you consider this is the bread and butter of the Lakers. Only 3 fast break points in game 1, 0 as you point out.
And then also the battle of the paint. The Spurs in 3 halves have dominated the paint, and that's kind of surprising also.
Glenn Rice. And a bad pass, but fortunately Derek Fisher was there. Lakers falling asleep with some of the perimeter passing. Bryant leads it off to J.R. Reed, and Reed hitting the jump shot. So Reed with his first basket of the ball game, and the Spurs lead again down to 1.
Any type of penetration down the lane, Reed will step out looking for that 15, 18-foot shot.
Was having his best year at Charlotte before that deal that brought Rice and Reed over, and that was David Robinson throwing the pass away from Sean Elliott, and a San Antonio turnover. To the consternation of Greg Popovich, who was an assistant coach under Larry Brown when he was the head man here in San Antonio. Before that, Don Nelson with the Warriors, third year as head man here. Delay of game warning against the San Antonio. Turnovers virtually even. 4 minutes gone by, third quarter. Fisher, good pass down low to Shaquille O'Neal and a foul. Derek Fisher thread the needle, and a good pass in good position for Shaq.
They just ran a high screen and roll at the top of the circle for Shaq. As the dribbler came off the screen, Shaq goes right down the middle of the lane and posts up. Now keep an eye on it now. Now it's not a great screen and roll, but as Shaq goes down inside, watch him. He turns right around. Look where he's catching the ball. He's inside at 3 feet.
Shaq missed the first free throw. He's now 2 for 9. And Tim Duncan now with his third foul. So Sean Elliott, Tim Duncan, and David Robinson all with 3 personal fouls. But Shaq now 2 of 10 from the line after a pretty good 9 of 14 performance in game 1 from the stripe. So San Antonio still has the lead. Lakers missed a chance there. David Robinson getting the opening and hitting. David Robinson now with 10 points. And the Spurs up by 3.
On that screen, Fisher is fighting over the top. Shaq is laying off the screen too far because all David Robinson does, he just steps back. He's on the screen, he spots up.
Bryant nearly got himself into big trouble there with the drive. And there is Kobe working his way in. Shaq getting the offensive rebound and putting it in. Shaquille O'Neal, who had 7 offensive rebounds in game number 1. Now his first offensive board tonight.
Well, he's definitely alive right now in this corner, and everything is going his way. He's getting the bounce.
Avery Johnson feeding out to Ellie on the runner again. Air ball this time. Mario Ellie is struggling, has 3 points tonight. And under 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and a misfire as Fisher looking for a Laker in the corner, but no one there.
Well, that's what it looked like. But what happened was Shaq was fronted in the post. We bring back that point again. Feeding the post is a lost art, especially in this series. You see Shaq clearing out Duncan with his left arm. Now this is just a tug of war down inside. Fortunately, we're getting the calls. Now this is when Robinson got frustrated, grabbed Reed around the neck. Now down inside, you see the posting. Fox is working very, very hard. Duncan has become frustrated down inside. That's what brought the Lakers back. Fox's excellent defense in the second quarter on Duncan.
And Duncan, who still leads the Spurs with 13, has missed 6 of his last 7 shots. Fisher comes over to help. Good ball movement. Elliott gets a good look. And the rebound by diminutive Derek Fisher.
I want to bring out a point. The San Antonio guards in this game have 4 points. Ellie has 3. Jackson 1. Avery Johnson has not scratched in this game.
Here is Reed. He hit one earlier in the quarter. Tipped up into the hands of Shaq. Fires it out to Fisher, who will set it up with 20 on the shot clock and 6:10 remaining in the third. Reed firing over Duncan, and Duncan got a piece of it, but Shaquille O'Neal puts it in. Now Shaq, 10 points, 6 here in the third.
Well, he's so active, Dick. You know, that's his second offensive rebound where he scored. He's really moving from side of the lane to the opposite side. And when he does that, he's just so hard to defend.
Lakers regain the lead by 1. 51-50, and here is Duncan, who finally ends the drought. Duncan with 15 points. He had 10 in the first quarter.
That's one of the very few times he's gotten the ball up above the rim, Dick. Everything has been off the front of the rim.
And Kobe Bryant with a smooth jumper. 19 for Bryant. Remember, he's playing with 3 personal fouls. Lakers by 1 in a seesaw third quarter with 5:15 to go.
What I like about Bryant, he's shooting over 50% in the 2 games, Dick. He's making a lot of things happen. We know he had that rash of turnovers in game 1, but When he's got it all together, he is causing many problems out here.
And the cheers for Shaquille O'Neal picking up his 3rd personal foul. Highly partisan crowd, as you might expect, of about 34,000. But a good point about Kobe Bryant, and you can sense the maturity in postseason from one year to the next.
Well, they have difficulty handling him off the dribble. Now, we realize that Elliott has the assignment, and they're saying to him, keep him out of the middle and stay in front of him. Oh, yeah, well, that sounds so easy. You know, you can always give a guy that order. Now, let me see you do that. Because we're talking about a young man who has such a great stride. He can change direction on you, and he can go with either hand.
And now they're going to call San Antonio with the offensive foul, and is Avery Johnson on the push-off. So Johnson committing the foul. And speaking of Kobe Bryant, Hubie, he has played the entire game. Remember, he played 47 minutes in the Game 4 victory over Houston. He's played all the way in this one. Trying to get it into Shaquille O'Neal, but the Spurs intercepted. Under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Lakers leading by 1. And the double on Duncan. Good ball movement, leaving Elliott open in the corner for 3.
That's there. Anytime Duncan gets double teamed by Fisher, Fisher has been very pesty in this ballgame. Plus, he's done an excellent job shutting down Avery Johnson in transition.
Elliott with his second 3 has 15 points in the game, and now the turnover. Here's Avery Johnson, and Derek Fisher with 3 fouls was not going to challenge him. And it's 57-53, timeout as San Antonio regains the lead.
Good timeout by the Los Angeles Lakers. They want to stop the run right now, regroup. Let's get together what we're doing at the offensive end of the floor.
Watch Due South at 6.
Playoff lineup tomorrow at 8 p.m. on TNT. The Knicks and Hawks game 2, followed by the Blazers and the Jazz. Knicks and the Jazz have 1-0 leads in those series. And Friday on TNT at 8 o'clock, the 76ers and the Pacers from Philadelphia, all coming up on Turner Sports.
You can see it right there, an unbelievable stat. San Antonio, not the 10, that's not shocking. Los Angeles Lakers with 0. When you feel it, you have played 3 halves, and in 2 of the halves, the Lakers have not had a fast break basket. Kind of interesting. They're not running the lanes hard.
And Kobe Bryant to Shaquille O'Neal in one of the better sequences of ball movement for the Lakers tonight to bring them to within 2 points. Shaq now has 12 points.
Well, what I like is that Shaq's catching the ball on the move, Dick, rather than being stationary and trying to fight the double team.
Here's David Robinson. And Duncan fighting for the loose ball, knocked away. Duncan with his second shot, and the Lakers' interior defense equal to the task, and a carry called against Rick Fox.
Good call.
Turns it over to the San Antonio Spurs.
Now, Rick Fox had a great defensive half in playing Tim Duncan. Did a terrific job, changed the game around. Now, he is the one responsible for that strip.
On Duncan, and he also had 2 or 3 shots offensively, and that's where they need him as well. There is Duncan guarded by Fox with 10 on the shot clock. Ellie to Duncan on the repost, and a pushing foul. Rick Fox and Glenn Rice underneath, and they'll call this one on Fox. So 3 on Fox.
It's all you have to do when you catch the basketball and you're getting banged around and a double team is coming. If you're not ready and you see you cannot, get rid of the basketball, get the ball out.
And there's Elliott posting up against Kobe Bryant, and Shaquille O'Neal made him change the shot, and Glenn Rice the rebound. Good swift double team by Shaq. Here is Rick Fox. Goes low into Bryant. Bryant smartly does not challenge the Giants inside. Winding down to 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Glenn Rice, by the way, only 1 shot attempt here in the quarter, and he had 12 points at the half. Fox off balance. 2 on the shot clock. Derek Fisher to O'Neal, and the 24-second clock violation. Lakers wasted too much time.
Yeah, that was a very nice pass by Fisher. He made it happen. Shaq got caught laying in the weeds rather than stepping up to meet the pass. It's the story of when the guy is dribbling, you must create the passing lane.
Spurs with the ball and a 2-point lead, trying to make it 2-0 in the best of 7.
Oh, good call.
And an offensive foul. So Avery Johnson called again for an offensive foul.
He put both hands hands on Fisher and pushed them off. See, Avery Johnson is frustrated right now. He had a great series, 19 points a game against Houston. He started out the other evening in game 1, solid at both ends of the floor. Tonight, he cannot even get a shot look.
He was the leading scorer for the Spurs, and great play by David Robinson overplaying Shaq. And that is the 6th turnover for the Lakers here in the quarter. They turned it over 7 times early in the game and went down by 14. Duncan to Robinson, basket count. And there are the Twin Towers at their best. Duncan feeding David Robinson, who now has 12 points.
See, Duncan was double-teamed, and when he turned baseline, Shaq came. That opened up David Robinson. He stepped right to the front of the rim. Smart basketball.
Absolutely. 4-point lead with under 2 minutes to go. San Antonio in front. 5 on the shot clock. Everything's stopping now offensively. Bryant pulls up and hits the shot. And I guess it's okay when it goes through.
Well, any time that he gets you on this left side of the floor, he's murder. And he's caught Elliott now at least 4 times in that one-on-one situation where he has gotten fouled or scored with a field goal.
21 for Kobe Bryant, matching his game 1 total. Duncan double teamed with Fox, and Fisher draws the foul. And Derek Fisher now has picked up his 4th personal foul, so we may be seeing Derek Harper shortly.
Derek Fisher has done an excellent job on his man, Avery Johnson, helping out on the double teams, getting down low and looking for the deflection.
And Derek Harper will check in for Fisher. Fisher with a very steady 13-point game on 6 for 10 shooting in game 1. And here is Harper, the 16-year veteran who has been in the playoffs now for 10 years. David Robinson goes out, and Malik Rose. Robinson with 12 points tonight, still with 3 personal fouls, and Rose, who had a whale of a first half, with 11 points. But he too has 3 personals.
Yes, well, he brought out that point about the first half. When Robinson only played 9 minutes, Will Perdue came in, 3 minutes, 3 fouls. Malik Rose substituted for him, 11 points, 5 rebounds.
So Perdue did it in game 1 with Robinson in foul trouble. Rose tonight with both of them in foul trouble. So the Spurs handling foul trouble very well. Only the 2nd field goal attempt for Glenn Rice here in the 3rd quarter with 1:15 remaining. 4-point lead for San Antonio. Duncan on the pass from Avery Johnson, and they're going to tie it up, and a jump ball, and a good call by Hugh Hollins.
For all of the times that they are looking for Duncan, you have to appreciate the defensive effort that Rick Fox is giving his team. He's behind him. He plays him on the side. He keeps moving with the angle of the passer, doing a terrific job.
Remember, Rick Fox was the only Laker to start all 82 of their games last year. Relegated to the bench this year because of the changes in the team. Started only 1 game in the regular season, but was in the lineup in game 4 against the Rockets.
Now, a lot of people are saying, well, so what's the big deal? He's giving him 6 inches. That's the big deal.
Tip control by the Spurs. With 1 minute remaining and 14 on the shot clock for San Antonio. Mario Ellie with the ball. Duncan setting a screen for him. Fox stays with him. And Rice on Duncan, the double team.
There it is.
And Elliott for 3. And Shaquille O'Neal the rebound. Derek Harper now with 42 seconds remaining in the half. San Antonio by 4. The Spurs led by 3 at the half. Good fake pass by Pretty. And Rick Fox set it up with the fake pass and the drive, penetrating to set up shot.
All the defenders came right on top of Rick Fox. That was a beautiful shovel pass with his right hand.
10 points for Shaquille O'Neal here in this 3rd quarter, so he is having his best scoring output of the series, young as it is. 10 on the shot clock for the Spurs. The lead is 2 now for San Antonio. Duncan is totally wrapped up and loses the ball. And a chance for the Lakers, but they're going to have a chance on the free throw line. Well, let's see now. That's only the 3rd team foul against the Spurs.
Hard double teaming. Everyone grabbing. You would like to think that they were all grabbing the ball and not grabbing an arm in 2 possessions there.
And that's playoff basketball right there. Malik Rose with his 4th personal foul. And with 4.9 seconds remaining in the third quarter, J.R. Reed coming into the game will inbound. Will Perdue checks in for Duncan. Duncan has 3 fouls, so both coaches trying to protect their big people from further foul trouble. So Kersey is in the lineup defensively for San Antonio.
He's matched up with Rick Fox.
Rose stays in the game with 4. 4.9 to go. Here is Kobe Bryant, and the pass deflected away by Ellie. Rice with a desperation shot, and it goes off. Well, Shaquille O'Neal, 10 points on 5 for 5 shooting and 5 rebounds. A big quarter for Shaq. But the Spurs still have the lead by 2 by a score of 61-59 as we get set for the final 12 minutes of regulation from the Alamodome. We'll be right back.
Pass into Duncan. Fisher's coming down and taking away the lane. So you tell your man, go away from the double team. As Duncan will do that, here comes Shaq to cut him off. But smartly, David Robinson right to the front of the rim for the pass right there. Just so you can see. See, always go away from the double team, but here comes the third guy, and then David Robinson created the pass.
So we start the fourth quarter, and for the first 7 quarters in the series, the Lakers held under 20 4 times. Now, this is a team that's averaged 99 in the regular season, 99 in the first round against the Rockets, and they have only 59 going into the fourth quarter. But Kobe Bryant, who has had the hot hand since the start, now with 23 points and leads everybody in the scoring department. Lakers tie it up at 61. And a San Antonio foul, offense foul against the Spurs.
Yeah, there was a foul by Jaren Jackson on the baseline, Dick. Set a screen, but a moving screen.
Derek Harper at the point with Bryant. And offensive foul the other way against the Lakers. And that one is against Rick Fox. So 4 on Rick Fox, and he is in the foul trouble at this point. Avery Johnson, along with Jaren Jackson, and up front it's Sean Elliott, David Robinson, and Malik Rose for the Spurs. And again, we have had 3 straight offensive fouls on 3 possessions here in this fourth quarter.
Now that one was going to be a back screen. The referees are not going to allow any moving screens here. They realize they've got to dictate the tempo of this game for this fourth quarter.
Glenn Rice, who was 0 for 3 in the third quarter, trying to get untracked again, and he hits his first shot. So Rice, 14 points in the game, including 2 threes, and the Lakers are up by 2 points. David Robinson defended by J.R. Reed now, and Robinson throws it away as Avery Johnson cutting the wrong way. So the Spurs turn it over again. That's 3 times in less than 2 minutes of this fourth quarter.
Well, we go back to game 1. 9 minutes to go, up 9, 9 turnovers, 7 missed foul shots. They allowed the Lakers to come right back.
And the missed free throws, as you point out, they would not put the game away. Here is Kobe Bryant.
Oh, good.
Rose trying to tie him up, and the ball knocked away, but last touch by the Spurs. And the Lakers have 6 seconds to attempt a shot. Great hustle by Malik Rose.
Malik Rose played him really solid on the dribble. Did not go for any of the moves. Beat him to the spot with his feet.
Rick Fox into Rice, who hit his last shot. Elliott all over him. Rice with a long-range shot. And the loose ball picked up by Glenn Rice. Lakers with a fresh clock. And J.R. Reed with a back step and a shot, 65-61. A drop step by Reed, and the Lakers are up by 4. And that's their biggest lead of this game. They were down by 14 at 1 point.
Yeah, they just got to get going here right now. Run your offense, whatever it is, whether it's simple or what. Now that's nice.
And Avery Johnson, only a second field goal, but good penetration.
See, once again, he came off of that high screen and roll. If you do not step out and force him wide, he will continue down the lane. One of the very few times, because see, when Fisher fights him hard over the top.
Fisher on the bench right now with 4 personal fouls. Here is Glenn Rice, and he is fouled by David Robinson. So Robinson picking up his 4th personal foul will send Rice to the line.
With this small group for the Lakers on the floor, the post-up guy will be Glenn Rice, with Reed spotting up on the outside.
Off the double team, Rice is open for 3.
Commanders throughout the playoffs are the San Antonio Spurs. So Utah, San Antonio with a 1-0 lead as we bring into the rest of the lineup on Turner Sports the rest of the week on TNT. Doubleheader tomorrow, the Knicks against the Hawks, Blazers and Jazz, and the Pacers and 76ers game 3 in Philadelphia on Friday night. Boy, the Jazz have really had all they can handle so far in the playoffs.
Well, Portland had that game last night on the road. They played excellent basketball for 3 quarters, but could not make a shot in quarter number 4. Give the Jazz a lot of credit. They tightened up the defense and made all of the pressure plays.
Glenn Rice on the free throw line has 14 points in the game. And last night, or in game 1, I should say, after a good start, tailed off and then came up big in the 4th quarter, and he's showing signs that he might do the same again this evening.
You know, he's a career 84% shooter, never mind being a 40% shooter in threes. So, you know, he's so dangerous. That's why I like to see him on the post-ups, because he has the moves down there, and if he does not get a clear shot, you got a good chance of him getting fouled, and he's such a high percentage shooter.
Tim Duncan back in the game. He has scored 17 to lead the Spurs. Elliott working against Bryant, going strong to the hoop. Not enough mustard on it or touch. And the Lakers come right back. And here is Rick Fox. And Fox banks it in. And the Lakers now lead by 6, opening up their biggest lead. And the Spurs are going to call a timeout. That is the first time the Lakers have gotten any points off the fast break tonight.
That's right, but you see, when that ball was left to the left of the rim, as soon as Kobe rebounded, Fox took off, and they had a 2-on-1 back.
Guessing to the end, as they all should. Following the San Antonio timeout, the Lakers with their biggest lead of the game, 6 points. Jerome Kersey trying to get it into Duncan, knocked away, last touched by the Lakers. So Kersey is in there along with Ellie, Duncan, Malik Rose, and Avery Johnson.
Now, San Antonio must do a better job on their spacing away from Duncan, because they're fronting him. When the lob is coming, they're rotating a guy down hard.
Duncan lost it.
That's right. Duncan cannot see people, and that's probably one of his few minuses about his total offensive game is he does not handle a double team well.
Remember, he turned it over 6 times with that outstanding game he had in game 1. 3.5 minutes gone by. Rick Fox working against Malik Rose with a turnaround. Rose really forced him into taking a bad shot. Here come the Spurs down by 6, and there is Rose with the lay-in from Avery Johnson. Good feed, and Malik Rose now with 13.
He just keeps hustling. He is quick from rim to rim, and your power forward matched up with him. You've got to get back and pay attention to this guy.
Glenn Rice stepping back. Avery Johnson with the rebound, and the Spurs, who are down by 6, can cut it to 2. Johnson with a penetration. Here is Mario Ellie getting the look this time, and the Spurs coming back, trailing by 2.
Remember, we said the guards only had 4 points at the end of 3 quarters, and now you've got Avery Johnson, and now you have Ellie.
And they've got 10 points combined. Crowd very much in this game. A raucous crowd of over 30,000. Rick Fox misses a 3, and the ball just nestled up there above the backboard and below the 24-second clock. David Robinson has come back in the game, and so has Shaquille O'Neal. So the 2 starting centers who have been in foul trouble throughout the game. Robinson has 4. Shaq still with only 3. Shaq with 14 has come in. So 7:26 to go, and the major players are in the game.
The game plan for San Antonio was to set up a lot of screen and rolls, make Shaq come out high.
Avery Johnson back to Robinson, can't get the shot off, but Kersey off the front rim, and Kobe Bryant out of the pack. Lakers leading by 2. Derek Harper, and no basket. And once again, the Lakers, this time it's Harper stepping on the line and going out of bounds. That's happened a few times tonight.
It's kind of interesting. When Shaq is in the game, the Lakers do not blow out and look for the quickness and then have him follow as a trailer. It's kind of interesting. Everyone just lopes down the floor, and then it takes them too long to get into what they want to do in their initial set.
There was the quick double team on Duncan, the ball movement. Robinson gets the offensive rebound. Ellie with a shot put. And now Rice. So the Spurs with good ball movement, but unable to hit open jumpers. And the Lakers with a 2-point lead and the ball. 6.5 to go. There's the shooting story. Lakers at 50% here in the fourth. Shaquille O'Neal not double teamed yet. And a steal by Avery Johnson.
Well, you have an advantage here now. Shaq's late coming back.
Avery Johnson got that right hand out, and Shaq comes back and takes it away from the Spurs. So he giveth and he taketh away on successive times down the floor. And the Lakers want a timeout to talk it over with 6:04 to go in the fourth quarter.
Very ragged, definitely not pretty, and totally unexpected. Guys are running into steals, and they have no idea that they have a chance for a steal.
And great enthusiasm here in San Antonio. In fact, Judson High School was scheduled to hold its graduation here at the Alamodome next Tuesday, the night when Game 5 is scheduled to be played here. But rather than hold the event outside that night, the seniors voted to postpone the graduation to the next night at the Dome, in part because they did not want to miss seeing the game. So hopefully the seniors from Judson High School will get all of their wishes. Lakers, of course, have other ideas. Under 6 minutes to go in the fourth. Rick Fox guarded by Tim Duncan. Here is Shaq. Mild double team on Shaq. Gets it back from Fox. Tries to spin the baseline. Can't put it up. Lost his footing somewhat.
I'll tell you, David played him well. He really did. You know, they say all these things about David Robinson. 4 times first team all defense, 4 times second team all defense. The man gets the job done.
And Robinson going in on the layup misses. It was anybody's ball for a while. The Lakers with a 2-point lead. Under 5.5 minutes to play. Harper short rims the 3-point attempt. And the Spurs trying to tie the game again. And Shaquille O'Neal gets the basket on a nifty play. He's got 17.
Great finish, difficult angle, and a beautiful bank.
Very quietly, Elliott playing an outstanding all-around game on both ends of the floor. Under 5 minutes to go, tied at 69. Kobe Bryant in traffic. Fox with a drive, and here is Harper. He misses a 3 from the corner. Lakers settling for perimeter shooting.
Take a look.
Spurs looking
there
to take the lead again, and David Robinson from Sean Elliott. Lakers trying for the outside shot. Spurs working the ball in, and they have run off 8 straight points to regain the lead.
Now that's the way to push the break. Get the ball up ahead, force the defense to come in, because when you do that, then it opens up the trailer. And that was David Robinson coming right down the middle. Now this is just great because Robinson beats Shaq down the floor, and they get the move because they took away the first post-up man with the defense.
David Robinson with 14 points. Spurs lead it 71-69. Star Wars craze alive and well here in San Antonio as the Spurs regaining the lead. They were down by 6, but the Lakers have not scored in over 4.5 minutes. And with 4.5 minutes remaining in regulation, San Antonio leading in Los Angeles 71-69. Derek Fisher back in the game at the point. Kobe Bryant lays it in. Big play by Bryant following the timeout. He has 25, and that is a career playoff high for Kobe, who had 24 against Houston in Game 4 there.
Dick, that was an explosion off of a down screen, and he split 2 players and overcame a third.
Here's Duncan over Rick Fox. So the giants of the game are delivering now. Tim Duncan with 19 points. Spurs leading by 2.
Now you talk about tough angles. That was a tough angle, and he still had the presence of mind to bank that shot.
We have stars and Star Wars tonight, and they're coming up big here in the 4th quarter as we get down to the late stages. Kobe Bryant missing the turnaround, and now San Antonio with the ball and the lead as we get close to 3.5 minutes.
Now Kobe made a great spin move and lost Elliott. Elliott was trying, but unfortunate for Kobe, he left that one short.
Got a scrambling for the steal, Robinson, and the foul before the shot, so the basket will not count. And David Robinson is fouled. Neither team is approached foul trouble penalty-wise.
Now, the foul was called right here. See, they called it way before Robinson got into a shooting situation because you could hear the whistle. New Holland, solid call that time.
Each team with only 1 team foul, so they'll, as we get under 2 minutes, eventually they'll have 1 foul to give. Personal was on Derek Fisher, who's got 5. Fisher guarding Avery Johnson. Close to disqualification. Duncan has it knocked away by Shaq. Great defensive play by O'Neal.
Good strip. Once again, Fisher down in there. Lakers coming with that 3rd man.
3 minutes remaining in the 4th. The Lakers trailing by 2. Kobe Bryant finds Derek Fisher. Air ball on the 3-point try. Again, San Antonio with a chance to pad their slight lead. Johnson against Fisher.
High screen and roll.
With Robinson setting the screen. And here's the roll. Robinson misses the shot. And Kobe Bryant with a great acrobatic save.
Now that play, that high screen and step back is there anytime that San Antonio wants it. Puts a lot of pressure on Robinson to hit that 15-7.
Here's Kobe Bryant with a drive. It's missed. And Elliott gets hit in the face. No foul call.
Inadvertent pop.
All right.
It's easy for us to say. Yeah, right.
I didn't get one from you tonight.
Yeah, I know.
Believe me.
My elbows are low in your ribs. That's right.
10 on the shot clock for the Spurs. Avery Johnson is blocked by Shaquille O'Neal. O'Neal on the block on the 5'11" point guard. And under 2 minutes remaining, San Antonio leading by 2. Each team has had opportunities the last few times down the floor. Here is Rick Fox, and he misses a 3, but a foul is called. And it'll be against Mario Elie of San Antonio with 1:49 on the clock. And they'll inbounds on the side.
Rice wants that post up.
Working against Elliott. Rice double team, gets it to Shaq. Shaq lays it in, and an offensive foul called against Shaquille O'Neal.
Clear out.
No basket.
Joe Forty had a clear out with the left arm. Keep an eye on it now. Now watch the drop pass to the left of your screen, and there it is right there. Now, according to Joe, he had that angle with that forearm right up on the top of the chest.
Here is Duncan driving in, and they'll call that an offensive foul against Tim Duncan. So Shaquille O'Neal picking up his 4th on the charge, and now Duncan, number 4, as he charged.
Now keep an eye to see if they are inside of the area. You can see the heels and half of the foot was in the area. That should have been a block call. We have the benefit. We have the benefit of the replay. That's a difficult call for a referee.
Lakers timeout. We'll be right back. Spurs by 2. Back at tonight's action. Preview tomorrow's game 2 between the Hawks and Knicks, Blazers and Jazz. Join Bob Lorenz, the Hornets Eddie Jones, and Orlando's Danny Shays is 40 years old. Coming up next. There's the reset. The Lakers have 1 foul to give. San Antonio 3 full timeouts. Neither team, Hubie, have scored in the last 2.5 minutes.
Well, we've had excellent defense at both ends of the floor. We've seen the best rotation of the night in the paint by both ball clubs.
Here is Rick Fox driving against Duncan, and it goes through, and the Spurs are claiming it should be no basket, but they're going to allow the hoop.
Now that ball was definitely touched up over the top of the cylinder.
And O'Neal gets credit. Shaq now with 16. 1:06 to go. We're tied at 73. Avery Johnson picking spot. Robinson right around Shaq. David Robinson with a great first step that he's known for.
Beautiful ball fake. Ball and head fake. Got Shaq to move. And then the step.
And here is Kobe Bryant against Duncan, trying to pass it out to Shaq. It's out of bounds. And it is last touched by the Spurs.
Well, that should have been off the Spurs because Kobe Bryant threw the ball. They blocked the ball. He did not retouch it as it went out of bounds.
Lakers will have 11 seconds to get a shot off and a 20-second timeout called by the Lakers. So they have one full timeout remaining. San Antonio has 3.
Now keep an eye on this. Now you're going to see Kobe now as he makes his move. It's right off the hands there of David Robinson. Kobe does not allow it to hit him. Goes out of bounds. Solid call.
Lakers with only one timeout left. They have a foul to give as well. San Antonio leading 75-73, trying to sweep the first 2 games at home in the best of 7 before the series resumes at the Great Western Forum Saturday and Sunday for games 3 and 4.
You're trying to put good pressure on the shooters. Big thing right now from now to the end, do not allow a second shot opportunity.
11 seconds to attempt the shot. Glenn Rice will inbound for the Lakers.
There's a screen for Bryant.
Ellie guarding Kobe, and here is Glenn Rice, double team, loses the dribble, and nearly steals it away, but kicks it out of bounds. So the Lakers get the ball back, still with 3 seconds to attempt a shot.
They ran a screen for Bryant to the wing and then brought the man Rice right up the middle on a stagger. Defense perfectly by the Spurs.
But only 3 seconds to try a shot, and the Lakers with only one timeout left. They got to get it in bounds. They do. Bryant, long range, hits the 3.
What a dagger.
Kobe Bryant has given the Lakers a 1-point lead with a 3-point basket. He's got 28 in the game, and a timeout called by San Antonio. Kobe Bryant delivering in his playoff best. 28 points tonight.
Now you're going to see Bryant just sprint right to the corner. And on the catch, the elevation. And also a little fade back on the release of the shot.
He could be the hero for the Lakers. By 1 with 34.2 seconds to go. Kobe Bryant with 28 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. He has played the entire game, Hubie.
He's just been outstanding, electric at both ends of the floor. Not only with the points, but also defensively and on the boards.
The Lakers have a foul to give, and that could be important. The differential in the clocks is 12 seconds as you look at the reset.
Yeah, we have plenty of time here right now. The big thing is to run what you talked about in the huddle and get a high percentage shot.
Sean Elliott with the air ball, not a high percentage shot. And the rebound into the hands of the Lakers, and the differential of about 4 seconds. And San Antonio.
Well, you got to go for some traps here, either or go for the trap and then try to steal. If you don't get it, you foul. You cannot allow them to run it all the way down to 4 seconds.
And Ellie committing the foul. Kobe Bryant will go to the free throw line where he is perfect tonight, 3 for 3. So after a 24-point effort in Game 4 against Houston that clinched the series, 28 tonight, and a chance to give the Lakers a 3-point lead. His first miss gives the Spurs some hope. J.R. Reed in the game, and remember, the Lakers still with a foul to give.
Now, he was 20 for 25 in the playoffs before that miss.
And he missed them both. Kobe Bryant misses both free throws, and instead of a possible 3-point Laker lead, the Spurs 1 point down as they call a timeout.
That's why we always say, don't worry about who you're fouling. Don't be worried about percentages. Pressure takes advantage of that.
Are you ready?
Fire in Game 2, Lakers lead by 1. Keep in mind that with the shot clock turned off at 18.1, the Lakers, Hubie, still have a foul to give.
Yeah, and that's very big. A foul to give because you can allow movement and dribbling and then foul a guy. The other factor is if you're San Antonio, you must get a high percentage shot, crash people to the glass hoping for a second shot. L.A., hold them to 1 shot. Now, San Antonio's been able to open up easily with any type of screen and roll at the top of the circle.
Sean Elliott will inbound, and delay of the game warning called against the Lakers. So Duncan is out there along with Robinson, Ellie, and Avery Johnson. Rice guarding Ellie, looking
high screen and roll.
Duncan setting the screen. Plenty of time left. They go down low to Duncan, guarded by Reed. And Duncan's turnaround scores, and San Antonio regains the lead by 1. Timeout Lakers with 8.4 on the clock. 21 for Tim Duncan, but the Lakers may be in position to have the last answer tonight.
Now we said all night long they've been bread and butter, screen and roll, screen and spot up. And on the screen, the roll, Duncan just rolled right to the post-up area, came in, and that's why he's so tough. He has that jump hook from the side. Very difficult shot, but he makes it with consistency. See, he feels the defense, gets the defense to leave. Here comes the double team. Go away from the double team and come with the jump hook.
21 for Duncan as the Lakers use their last timeout. A big basket by Duncan, and all of the major players are delivering big, although Kobe Bryant hit the 3 with 34.2, but then missed 2 free throws that would have given the Lakers a 3-point lead, and instead it was a 1-point game, and now San Antonio has to defend with 8.4 seconds and the Lakers having the ball.
Now, first of all, you would think that San Antonio would be all over the passer out of bounds. Lakers, no timeouts and no 20. So you definitely put big time pressure on that guy because he's got to get the ball inbounds. Second thing is, you know that you have Bryant, you know, an electric one-on-one guy. San Antonio has been running 2 guys at him throughout this entire fourth quarter. Now, do you gamble and do that if he is the recipient of the pass? Then also, you know, Shaq will be trying to post you somewhere in the painted area.
And of course, if you go into Shaq, you know that the Spurs will try to foul him, where he is only 2 of 10 from the line after going to the line 14 times in game 1.
When you leave that huddle, you tell your guys, when that shot goes up, make sure we have everybody blocking out and on the glass. No second shot attempts.
8.4 left. And the Lakers send out Bryant to inbound, and they've got Shaq, J.R. Reed, Rick Fox, and Glenn Rice, along with Derek Fisher. Fox, Rice, Fisher, O'Neal, and Kobe Bryant.
Now Fisher's down on the baseline. He's coming off a Shaq to the corner.
And they get it into
knocks
away. Johnson causes the turnover. Ellie has it, and he's fouled. And it was Avery Johnson who knocked the ball away from Derek Fisher. And that was Avery Johnson's 5th steal of the game. And Ellie not...
Keep an eye to the left of your screen here as this pass comes in. See, he got a piece of it. And as he hit the ball, it deflected right off of Fisher's face.
And a timeout was called by Mario Ellie.
Right now, the Lakers are trying to get Harper back into the game here. You want to get your best defenders in, put pressure on people, put pressure on the passer, try to deny. You got to go for the steal. If you don't get the steal, you must foul quickly.
Fisher fouled out of the game. Lakers had a foul to give, no timeout, so the Spurs still have a full timeout. And the pass into Elliott, and he is fouled with 5.3 seconds to go.
Now, remember, in this situation, the Lakers do not have a timeout. So if San Antonio, you know, in this situation now, if they miss the shot, the Lakers cannot rebound, call timeout, and move it to half court. So what you must do now is, if there is a miss, you run it quickly. You only have 5 seconds. But if he makes 2, you are down 3. Then you have to have a play to get off a 3 as you're coming down the floor in a flow.
Elliott connects on the first free throw. He is 2 for 2 from the line tonight. And now Jerome Kersey comes into the game, and Duncan getting the
Well, they're matching up.
Yeah, right. Robinson is going to go inside.
Yeah, with Shaq. And all they're doing is they're matching up now with everybody so that they do not have a mismatch of speed.
Avery Johnson back with Harper. Johnson with the big defensive play with his 5th steal. The Spurs lead by 3 and no timeouts remaining. Here is Kobe Bryant checking the clock, going up for the shot. No good. The game is over, and the Spurs win their 2nd in a row. Big steal when the Lakers had an opportunity, but Tim Duncan getting the winning basket. Sean Elliott adding the free throws, and the San Antonio Spurs have now won 10 of their last 11 games. Going back to the regular season, they have taken the first 2 games and thus holding serve in this best-of-7 before the series moves to the Great Western Forum for games 3 and 4 Saturday and Sunday. Final score, the Spurs 79, the Lakers 76. To Craig Sager.
Well, 40 points by Tim Duncan and Sean Elliott. Obviously, the pick and roll. You made the go-ahead basket. Talk about that play. Hubie knew you'd be setting up the high pick and roll, but talk about it.
Coach called the play. It came off the screen. Mario was looking for me all the way. I got down in the post. Knew that Ray was going to try to strip the ball from me, just try to keep it up high and get it up there.
Just moments before that, Kobe Bryant hit an incredible 3 over your outstretched arms. Were you shocked that he made that shot?
It was a great shot. It was a great shot. I thought I was there, and I didn't want to let him go by me, and he just pulled it and knocked it. So it was just a big shot.
And Sean, obviously, Kobe misses the 2 free throws. You made your 2.
Well, we had to step up to the line and make them in crunch time. We've been working on it all year, so Pop had a heads-up play. He had me taking the ball out of bounds first, but me and Mario are the best free throw shooters out there on the floor at the time, so he just put me out on the floor.
After missing virtually all the past 2 seasons with surgery on both legs, both thighs, what's it like for you to have this great comeback and playing so well, especially tonight?
It's a lot of fun until you have to guard that youngster for 40 minutes, so I'm having a good time, though. Win or lose, I'm just happy to be out here.
What is the battle with you and Kobe like?
Well, it's like guarding a young Jordan. I mean, I haven't seen him this much. I played him a couple times during the season, but just to have him go at you in the playoffs, I mean, it's something else. He's got a lot of talent.
What type of game do you expect back in L.A.?
Oh, they're going to come even harder than they did tonight. We expect a great game down there. We're just going to go out there and play the 48 minutes we have played here the first 2 times.
Congratulations, Spurs go up 2-0. Let's go back to Dick and Hubie.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. So Tim Duncan with 21 points, including the winning basket with less than 9 seconds remaining. Sean Elliott had 19, Robinson 16, despite early foul trouble. Kobe Bryant had 28, a career playoff high, and Shaquille O'Neal and Glenn Rice each with 16. At one point, the Lakers were up by 6. San Antonio came back. Bryant with a big 3, but he missed 2 free throws, and that's how it went. And so, for our producer, Jeff Benke, Larry Cam, our director, Jim Allen, Jeff Randolph, Marty Aronoff, our statistician, this is Dick Stockton for Hubie Brown and Craig Sager saying so long from San Antonio. The Spurs lead at 2-0, winning 79-76 over the Lakers. And right now, let's send it to our Atlanta studios and Bob Lorenz. So long, everybody.
All right, thank you, Dick. A great doubleheader night on TNT where the chant could be heard. There's no place like home. But there was no time for either the Spurs or the Pacers to click their heels because the Lakers and Sixers were nipping at them. We're going to talk about that and a lot more on Inside the NBA next.
Iverson meets him. Now the pass cross court. Reggie for 3. Boom, baby!
Larry Brown did sense that goaltending was... Get the help there a little quicker.
Not for me to say. I don't know, what I have enough trouble trying to figure out my own plans with my own team, let alone figure out other people. I'm just glad that he knocked it down.
You've seen him do this before. This is a cold-blooded young man.
Yeah, Tim Duncan likes to take the shot. David Robinson likes to take the shot. But we looked at the matchups out there and just thought that in this particular situation, Tim was the guy to go to. So it worked out for us. He's not going to be flustered, as we've said before, no matter what happens in a game, good or bad. He just competes and then he goes home.
Well, guys, you get the impression that Popovich is sort of happy to escape with this win and be up 2-0 in the series. But can they escape with a win in L.A. as the series moves there now? That's a tough place to play, Eddie.
Oh, I definitely think it's going to be tough for San Antonio to get a win down there. I think the fans are going to be so excited, for their team to be coming back home, and they played so well in that game too. You know, they had the opportunity to win that game and just lost down the stretch. But coming into L.A., it's going to be tough.
Yeah, you wonder about the jitters, but Danny, I'll tell you what, Tim Duncan seems to be able to do it anywhere and come up big.
Well, he's a terrific player. He also has a pretty good matchup. He's very tall and long, great in the low post, and he's going against J.R. Reed for the most part, where he has a big size advantage and a great skill advantage. If you're not going to get double teams on Duncan, he's really going to have his way in there.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, our AutoZone This Date in History salutes an ex-Laker, Magic Johnson, who in 1987 became the first guard in 23 years to win the league MVP award. It was one of 3 that Magic took home. He, Michael, the Big O, and Bob Cousy are the only guards ever to be named MVP. Well, let's go to the...
Having Reed on Duncan at the end instead of Fox. That's obviously Reed's a bigger guy. That's what he's doing all game, right? Is that the reason for that? Having Reed instead of Fox. Fox seemed to be doing a good job on Duncan.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
But it's Reed.
Well, so did JR, too, so he did a pretty good job, too.
Coach, what do you prepare your team to do differently on Saturday?
Well, we're going to look at the tape. We had a smaller lineup out there. We're going to see if we can take better advantage of that. But... you know, I thought we made some nice adjustments. We made them work for everything that they got. We still had some points in the game offensively and defensively where we had lapses. Didn't do the things that we were supposed to do, but you know, as a whole, we did a lot more good things in this game than bad things.
Really, in the end, you were pretty much where you wanted to be. You had Kobe on the line.
You know, I'll take that in any game, you know, ending situation.
Well, you had timeouts, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Thanks, guys.
All right, Kurt Rambis, head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, short and not very sweet, were his comments, saying that his team did a lot of things well tonight, but not well enough to win as they lose by 2.